Hello everyone out there, welcome back. We're looking at question number 10 on the 2003 grade 7 Gauss math contest. So question number 10, in the diagram, three lines meet at the points A, B, and C. Well, there we go, A, B, and C. If ABC is 50 degrees and ACB is 30 degrees, which we have shown here, the value of x is... Okay, so depending on how much you know about triangles, this question will be very quick. You can probably do it by inspection, or it might take you one or two steps. So the key thing to know in the questions like these are that the sum of the angles interior to a triangle are 180 degrees. That'll add up to 180 degrees. And the sum of the angles in a line, a straight line, form 180 degrees. Okay? Now, if you combine those two facts, you'll see that x is an angle external to the triangle, and in fact it'll be the sum of the two other angles. So if you know that fact, you can just say, 30 degrees plus 50 degrees, x is going to be 80 degrees, and you'll see your answer is A, and you'll move right along. But let's suppose we didn't know that. We can even show it as we go along. So we have our triangle here. And for a moment, let's suppose we didn't know that rule, and we don't even know the angles here. Let's say this angle here is alpha, and this angle here is beta. Okay? We typically do denote our angles with Greek letters, and so there's something that if you want to keep going on in math, it's nice to be able to recognize them. Alpha kind of looks like a fish without his tail filled in, and beta looks like a very fancy-looking bee. So we know that the sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. So that means alpha plus beta plus this angle over here, which I'll call gamma, is 180 degrees. Alpha plus beta plus gamma is 180 degrees. Well, suppose I knew what alpha and beta were. Just like in the question, I know alpha is going to be 50 and beta is 30. I don't know what gamma is. I can rearrange to solve for gamma. Okay? Gamma going to be 180 degrees minus alpha minus beta. We just rearranged this equation to solve for maybe an angle that we don't know. This is useful. Now, we have a straight line here. Okay, we got a straight green line here. And it helps to form angle gamma, an angle that we don't know. But in a straight line, we have 180 degrees. Same as inside a triangle. So if we call this other angle here delta, we know that gamma plus delta is 180 degrees. But gamma is 180 degrees minus alpha minus beta. So delta, which is 180 degrees minus gamma, if we very carefully try and substitute that in, we'll see that the 180 minus the 180, they'll cancel out. The minus minus A becomes a plus A, and the minus minus beta becomes a plus beta. So plus alpha plus beta. These 180s cancel out. And this delta here, we can see, is alpha plus beta. So the exterior angle is the sum of the two opposite interior angles. And this works for any angles. Any at all, any alpha and beta, that angle delta that's outside, that's continued on with that line that makes angle gamma, but isn't angle gamma, it's the one that's outside the triangle, that's just going to be alpha plus beta, and this is useful to know. Now we can solve our question completely. So in particular with our question, we know we've got a 30 here and a 50 here. So this angle should be the sum of these two, 50 plus 30 is 80. Now, I suppose you didn't care for any of that alpha and beta nonsense, and maybe you just skipped over it, or your eyes glazed over, or hopefully you didn't turn off the video. We can still work these other angles out. Let's call them x and y. We know that x plus 30 plus 50. Sum of the angles inside a triangle is 180, but some people just like working with actual numbers. So x degrees, if we rearrange this, is 180 minus 30 minus 50. Not 150, minus 50. Well, 180 minus 30, that's 150. Minus 50, that's going to be 100 degrees. And that is one of the answers, but we're not interested in x, we're interested in y. Y degrees plus x degrees is 180 degrees. So if we rearrange, y degrees is 180 degrees minus x degrees, but we just worked that out. It's 180 minus 100, and that's 80 degrees. So however you slice it, doing it that way or doing it this way with actual numbers, you still get an answer of 80, and that was A, I believe. Let's just double check. Yeah, A degrees, and that's the value that we have out here. Sorry, I mislabeled. I had x inside and y outside. That's my bad, and I do apologize. But the value that we're interested in, the angle outside this triangle, is 80 degrees. And now, if you didn't know about that exterior angle is the sum of the two opposite interior angles rule, you do, and hopefully you'll be able to use that on future questions. That concludes part A on this contest. So now we're going to start part B with question 11 in the next video, and each correct answer is now worth 6 marks. So we should expect slightly more difficult questions. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.